Welcome to The London Perspective, where we explore the city through different lenses. I'm your host, Stefan, and today we'll be discussing a topic that's becoming increasingly relevant in today's world: how to effectively write ChatGPT prompts. As many of you may know, ChatGPT is a powerful language model that can generate text based on a given prompt. It's being used in a variety of applications, from chatbots to content creation. But how do you make the most out of this technology? How do you write prompts that will result in the desired output? First, it's important to understand that ChatGPT is a machine learning model, which means that it learns from the data it's been trained on. So, the more specific and relevant your prompt is, the better the output will be. For example, if you want the model to generate text about a specific topic, like London, it's helpful to include the word London in the prompt. Here's an example of a prompt you could use. Write a short paragraph describing the history of London. Another important aspect to consider is the temperature of the model. Temperature is a parameter that controls the level of randomness in the generated text. A higher temperature will result in more creative and varied output, while a lower temperature will result in more conservative and accurate output. This means that if you want the model to be more creative and generate unique content, you can increase the temperature, but if you want the model to stick closer to the original training data, you can decrease the temperature. For example, if you want the model to generate a list of creative and unique tourist activities in London, you could use a temperature of 0.95. It's also important to keep your target audience in mind when writing prompts. If you're writing for teenagers, for example, you may want to use language and terminology that they can relate to. Here's an example of a prompt that targets teenagers. Write a social media post about the best places to hang out in London for teens. And lastly, consider the tone you want the generated text to have. Do you want it to be conversational or formal? Informational or persuasive? Keeping this in mind when writing your prompt will help ensure that the output aligns with your desired tone. For example, if you want to write a persuasive piece of text to convince people to visit London, you could use a prompt like, write a persuasive essay on why London is the best city to visit. In this episode, we've covered the key factors to consider when writing prompts for ChatGPT: specificity, temperature, target audience, and tone. By keeping these in mind, you can ensure that the output generated by the model aligns with your desired results. Stay tuned for more on The London Perspective.